Welcome back to this video series on music theory. Today I wanted to talk about a brief topic, but one that's really helpful and bridges the gap between a student playing and starting to learn theory. This has to do with five-finger scales. So one thing that is useful to do with beginning students is when they're learning five-finger scales, have them kind of visualize what black keys and white keys they're hitting. So for instance, up here we've got D major. You can see we got D, E, F sharp, G, A in our five-finger scale. That sounds like this. And you can see the way it's set up. I like the students to think of the black keys and white keys. So when I notate this, I put little rectangles above each note. So thinking about white key, white key, black key, white key, white key. So this helps introduce the idea of, flats and sharps. How do we kind of show when to play a black key when we're in notation? Also, it kind of helps them look at the relationship between major and minor five-finger scales, namely that they're kind of changing that third note in the scale, or if we're thinking in left hand or right hand, right, the third finger of that five-finger scale. So this page shows all of what I think of as the sort of natural note five-finger scales. And that means all the keys where either the major scale or the minor scale is just all white keys on the piano. And you can see we've got C major, G major are all white keys, and then D minor and A minor. So not coincidentally, there's a lot of fundamentals beginner pieces that are written in these keys. So when they memorize it this way, right, they can think of their sort of mental image of the notes they need to hit, and they can also see that, again, so say to get from C major to C minor, they're going to change that third scale step, and I've set this up in treble clef so you can think of these as either scale step numbers or finger numbers in your right hand. So all they need to do is change that third finger. Now one slightly more difficult thing is what do you do with the scales that don't have a major or minor version with all white keys? And so I kind of call these the odd scales. It's really scales that use B or F. So you can see we've just got three of them that are left over. So F, E, and B as tonic. These are going to be the weird scales, or the odd scales where both major and minor five-finger scales are going to be using some black keys. So probably the most popular to learn is F major, which I've listed first, and E major. B is probably, one of the last tonic notes that students are going to be working with. In the same way, though, you can see that each scale here, students kind of conceptualize that as a certain pattern of white keys and black keys, and changing their third finger note to get between major and minor. This is a topic that's also really useful coming back to really quickly identifying major and minor triads, but we're going to leave that for another lesson. All right, thanks for watching.